Hello and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. There's all kinds of family. We chose this one. This is episode 387, Red 1 from 2024. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too, and this episode is brought to you by Garage Buddy. Get GarageBuddy.com. Shop Garage Buddy for your Merry Christmas garage door cover. Shout out to Garage Buddy.
Well, shout out to Garage Buddy and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. This is our annual Christmas episode. Miracles were achieved. We thought we'd have to see this in theaters to pay to see this movie. It landed on Prime Video a couple of weeks ago. We are here to watch it for free, to talk about it. Shout out to Garage Buddy. Shout out to Bezos.com for getting us this movie.
Oh, yeah, true.
Man, there is, when we get to the trivia in a little bit, there is like, it's all, like,
lot?
all the trivia. No, there's not a lot, but it's all just like, this movie was supposed to come out then, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson was a big baby about it. Like, there's like really weird, like, subjective descriptions of this movie, but like, yeah, this is the movie that led to all those think pieces a couple of months ago. So
this is peeing in bottles, dude. He's on set peeing in bottles, remember?
Oh, it is. After Santa Claus is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security must team up with a notorious hacker in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas. Directed by Jake Kasdan, who did the new Jumanji movies. He also did Walk Hard and Bad Teacher. Written by Chris Morgan of Fast and Furious fame. Story by Hiram Garcia, who is Danny's brother. So, The Rock's ex-brother-in-law.
That was part of the story. I remember that. Yeah. He was like, what was he? He was a producer or something?
Well,
what did you say?
He has the story credit. He's also maybe a producer. He's also the head of $7 Studios.
Because they said that this guy was like, up to his neck. Like he couldn't.
It's a Nepo hire. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but they were saying like, I remember from the article, like not only is he a Nepo hire, he was not qualified to be
run a studio. Yeah. There are 9 producers, including Kasdan, the director, Morgan, the writer, The Rock, Danny Garcia, and more. Shot by Dan Mindell, who did the new Twisters movie and also a bunch of J.J. Abrams stuff, including Star Wars 7 and 9, Force Awakens, and Rise of Skywalker. Budget of, who knows really, 250 million, maybe more.
Jesus, that is a budget.
Even though it
for this kind of movie
in theaters, it still made 175 million, including 92 million in the U.S. and Canada somehow, and another 80 worldwide.
I think because it's The Rock in a Christmas movie, right?
I mean, I think we also talked about like in Walt's newsletter a couple of weeks ago, it was like the first Christmas movie released at theaters since before COVID. Or something. Like it just.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's a Christmas movie in theaters. Yeah, this is you're taking your kids Black Friday shopping and stop by and see Red 1 at the end or whatever.
Also, maybe it was successful sort of because 30% by Rotten Tomatoes critics, but 90% by the audiences.
90%.
I texted Rachel on Tuesday because it was Rachel's birthday. Shout out Rachel. And I said, happy birthday. The gift I give you is tomorrow night you get to watch Red 1 with Joe. And I was like, I don't tell him research stuff in advance, but just know 30% by critics, 90% by the audience.
She did not get to watch it with me last night. She had a work event after work, so she went to that.
You're just going to have to watch it again with her.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking about saving it. But no, I watched like most of it. I think she came in for like probably the last like half an hour or something, and I kind of just did the like, this is your Tilder, and she's like, oh, that's a movie, and then went from there. Yeah.
34 on Metacritic. No crazy credits, unfortunately. There is some trivia about it. So a lot of the trivia that I got rid of is basically like, these actors work together in the MCU. This is an MCU connection. This is a Marvel connection. And I'm like, right, okay, the only way we can frame movies like this, and the only way we make movies like this, is by doing the Marvel formula. And so it's just kind of a bummer. Like, I don't like...
We're going to look back, and we say it a lot, and we talk about it a lot, because Fast and Furious is pretty similar, but we are going to look back on the Marvelification of movies and probably be very disappointed.
Bob was over the other night recording a Lottery Pod episode when you were talking about... I don't remember how it came up, but he was talking about how, like, the original Star Wars movies were, like, based on Kurosawa movies, and now Star Wars movies are based on other Star Wars movies. And it just feels like...
Yes.
We've lost something there, and, like, they should be, like, based on, like, the Taking Pelham 1, 2, 3, or just, like, some, like, 70s action movie or whatever. Like, there's a lot of reviews on Letterboxd that are, like, 1.5-star reviews, and a lot of reviews that are 2-star reviews. And I don't think this is, like, for many reasons, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But I think it's just, like, it just feels like every other action movie that has come out in the last 10 years. Because
But with
it's,
Christmas Hobbs.
Mhm. It's like, oh, okay, so it's a heist movie, but like set at Christmas. It's like, okay, it's The Rock doing The Rock stuff, but at
But it
Christmas.
doesn't. It's not even like The Long Kiss Goodnight, where it's like it's Christmas but a heist movie. It's a modern heist movie with Christmas veneer.
Well, like the biggest miss, I think, in the entire movie is that there's not enough stuff. Like the only like cool. Well, there's a lot of stuff. It's kind of dumb.
There's
Maybe
a lot
it's
of
just not my
stuff.
speed.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I wanted more like how they actually do Christmas. Like at the very end of the movie, like after spoilers, Santa is rescued, and like
What?
he's literally going around and like shrinking down and going in there and like dropping like little gifts and they become big. I'm like,
We've had so much technology since we've gotten the last like good Santa movie. I agree with you.
I was like, that's cool to see, but there's not more of that.
No,
Although
very little of that.
This weekend when I was down in Texas, we'll talk about it on the next Fastlane. Like we watched Violent Night, which is that David Harbour horror Santa. Like it's actually Santa, and he's like at a house fending off burglars, or whatever. And I'm like, this isn't good. Like I knew that wasn't going to be good going in, but like they also do these smart. Like he has like a digital scroll that shows like naughty and nice list. So just like the same thing here, just like, okay, like how do we do like the naughty and nice list, but technology? It's like, okay, there's like a...
We watched Dear Santa with Jack Black not too long ago. Pretty intoxicated. Also not a great movie, but fun in its own right. But he was Satan, so it's not really like a lot of...
She wrote it as the Satan, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I just wish that there was like more... Like, if you're going to make a Christmas movie, like, because again... Having talked about in the Discord,
you love Christmas movies.
I don't. But having talked about in the Discord about whether movies are or are not Christmas movies, like White Christmas being mostly about like joining the army or like respecting your general or whatever, like Die Hard being like whether it is or not. Like, if you're gonna make a Christmas movie, do some stuff about Christmas. Because here, like for the first like 20 minutes, it's just like, oh, it's just like Southern California at Christmas time, and then it's like it's just a heist movie with Chris Evans as like kind of a bad dude who's like gonna have a change of heart. It's just like, well, what are you doing? Like, why Christmas other than to make Christmas money?
That's my problems with Christmas, Joey.
No, I understand that. Like, I'm not defending. Look, I'm not the
No,
one
I
who
know.
likes Christmas movies here.
I know. I'm just saying. But you succinctly summed up precisely why I hate the modern version of Christmas.
Like, this just feels like it could be any other movie, but instead of capturing like the president's daughter, like at one point there's the line where they say toward the end, the North Pole has been taken. And I'm like, if this was called like North Pole has fallen, starring Gerard Butler, right? Like the Olympus has fallen or London has fallen or whatever, just like North Pole has fallen. Like, but like, it's just like a normal dude who's got to save Santa. I'm on board.
It's literally called Red One.
I know. Anyway, this was originally going to be a Prime Video original. Got moved to theaters.
How does it work that it was going to be a Prime Video original? So they just like passed off the rights to...
Well, no, I mean, like it's all owned by Amazon. Like, Amazon still just it's Amazon. It's Prime Video.
Okay, cool. But there was something that was like, you sent me an article. We were talking about it, and it looked like it said like Netflix was like, it was going to be on Netflix, or was it? I don't know. I don't remember.
No, you just keep thinking it's on Netflix because it's Red One, because there's red in there. It was always Amazon.
Okay.
But they were gonna just do it as a streamer, and they're like, no, let's put it in theaters
in case it gets nominated for Oscars.
I guess so. But I guess also, like, if your movie costs $200 to $300 million and you're able to make $200 million of that back in theaters, any additional money...
Smart move, yeah.
More trivia. Santa refers to his reindeer as ladies. Oh, also, I will say, Red One became the most watched Prime Video film debut ever, with 50 million viewers after the theatrical run. So, like, 50 million people watch it as opening weekend over 4 days. So, like, people watch the shit out of this movie.
Okay.
That doesn't make it good, but people watched it. So Santa refers in this movie to his reindeer as ladies. While normally depicted as male, it stands to reason his reindeer are female because only female reindeer keep their antlers in the winter. Male reindeer shed their antlers and grow back new ones in the spring.
That is actually a really good trivia. Like the animal bloopers, that's kind of cool. I never thought about that or knew that about reindeer. I learned something today.
It's like a goof.
But they're all named like Vixen.
Incorrectly classified as goofs.
Yeah.
Also,
sure.
I like the reindeer in this movie seem bigger proportionally than any of the reindeer I've ever seen in a movie. Like those things are like 10 feet tall.
They were substantial.
Yeah.
They were substantial. They're like Clydesdales, bigger.
Mm-hmm. So of that $250 million budget, $50 million went to The Rock.
Sorry.
The previous record was $40 million for Robert Downey Jr. for Civil War and Will Smith for King Richard.
Bro, I love The Rock. Get the bag, bud. This is awesome.
Before this, his biggest paydays were $22 million for Jungle Cruise and $20 million for Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay. But not Jumanji?
I don't know. Apparently not. I mean, again, this is IMDb trivia. This could all be wrong. Also, I think Marvel is giving Downey like $75 million to come back as Doctor Doom, right? So
I think so. Yeah.
Also, he gets all these guys get points in the back. I don't know. But anyway, he became the highest paid actor in history and also had all that bullshit about him. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, for $50 million, I will do whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
If you want me to pee in bottles, I'll pee in bottles. If you don't want me to pee at all, I won't. Like, for $50 million.
That's just, I agree. If I need to pee in a bottle in front of everyone.
If you're paying me $50 million, I'll pee wherever you want me to pee.
Yeah. You could just video that. Just stream that. Like, Amazon could have released it. If you want to see me peeing in a bottle for $50 million, I'll take it.
So, the movie related to that wrapped shooting in February 2023. The extended production schedule is predominantly a result of Dwayne Johnson's erratic behavior during filming, more specifically his constant absence from set, which I don't understand how, if it finished shooting, he's no longer involved, but whatever. Reports from insiders claim that Johnson would often be 8 hours late, causing delays that necessitated additional rounds of shooting, and a budget increase of around $50 million, which also had resulting complications for post-production. Curiously, this is all IMDb trivia, also slamming The Rock, Johnson had previously called out his Fate of the Furious co-star Vin Diesel for unnecessarily delaying the shoot by refusing to show up on time for filming. But it seems like this was announced a while ago, took a while to shoot, took a while to finish, because there's a lot of people in here where I'm like, oh, I've seen them in other movies this year. And it's like, they could have, because they shot this last year or 2 years ago, and they just, sat on the shelf.
They did. To me, this feels like they got pushed back a little bit to the point where it finished shooting in February, and they're like, we can't fucking release this.
So they're saying February 23. Like, it could have come out Christmas 23. I don't know. Again, this is IMDb trivia. This could all be wrong.
And also, we really don't know how long it takes to make a film.
Well, there's a lot of CGI in this.
There's a lot of CGI in this.
You gotta have those snowmen on the beach.
The snowmen on the beach are... I have thoughts, but okay.
Kiernan Shipka plays the villain in this. I'm just like, she was in both Longlegs and Twisters, very small parts in both. But I'm just like, where'd she find the time? It's like, 2 years ago. Who's the other guy that I saw? Oh, very, very small cameo. But in the beginning, remember when when Santa's at the mall and that Stew Crew vlogger comes up? He's just like,
I 100% remember this. Yes. Yeah.
He's one of the stars of the new Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie, which we put on in the background while we wrapped presents. I'm like, how did he shoot both movies? Oh, because he doesn't have a small part in this, and also he shot this 2 years ago. You know what I mean? It's just, all these people are just like, well, I just saw them in something. It's like, no, because this was shot 2 years ago. So.
Yeah.
Second time J.K. Simmons has played Santa Claus. He was Santa Claus in the movie Claus, 2019.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
And then the final bit of trivia relating to us, sort of, even though not directly. Chris Evans was cast in the movie Fly Me to the Moon, that astronaut movie with Scarlett Johansson, but dropped out to be in this, and he was replaced by...
Goss?
Channing Tatum.
Oh, yes. I didn't watch that one, though.
Neither did I.
I don't think. Okay.
One of our guys.
Yeah, that's related.
Yeah. So what did you think of Red One?
I actually expected it to be much worse than it was. It was a movie. It was fine. It was an action movie. There was things that I liked. There was things that I didn't like. But overall, it was more mature than I thought it was. There was more swearing than these usually exist with. There was a lot of things that I was like, you just cherry-picked parts from other movies and media and just put them in this movie because it kind of fit. But for the most part, I was like, this isn't the worst. I have thoughts. We'll get through it as we go through it. But it was decent.
I don't think, look, I was saying a lot of people give this half a star on Letterboxd. I think that's performative. I don't think there's any way a movie like this could be one of the worst movies that's ever made.
100%, yes.
For any number of reasons.
We talk about this all the time.
Yes.
It's all a grand scale, and this is not the worst movie I've ever seen.
But it's just this is a solid 2 hour long movie, and it's you could watch so many other movies instead of this. Why would you watch this? And I also do think, kind of just because I like him, also maybe because he wasn't in the movie a lot, but removing J.K. Simmons, the most charismatic, likable part of this movie, and just being hey, you like these guys from other movies, you like these superheroes, put them in here. You know what I mean? It's just I don't want to see Chris Evans do the same character he's been playing for the last 15 years. I want to see J.K. Simmons do it because I like that more.
Yeah.
But they're going to suck him out and they're going to hide him over there. Oh, you put Mary Elizabeth Ellis in here as Chris Evans' ex-wife? Waitress from Always Sunny? Love her. Oh, you're going to have her on screen for like 3 minutes? Okay.
3 seconds,
Whatever. Oh, you're going to have Nick Kroll doing a weird voice on the beach? Okay.
And you're like, 2 minutes of him. That was the scene. Bye.
You have Lucy Liu with bangs?
Lucy Liu was a good part of this movie, to be honest.
Like, I like a lot of the actors in here. It's just like, this is strange a little bit. But
yeah, they just shotgun money at this movie, it seems like. But I thought I thought that they were shotgunning money to everyone, and it was just like a giant shotgun at the Rock. Yeah.
Well, also, that's what happens when $7 produces it, right? I was surprised, given Chris Morgan wrote this, and that The Rock's character name is Callum Drift, that this was not very Fast and Furious. Like, not that I expected it to be, but like, the guy knows how to write one kind of movie, and like, it's not really, like, it's action, but it's not like Fast and Furious. It's like just action.
There's some cars in it, but they're not a pivotal part of this movie. And the driving and the chases aren't really like, it's more just like hand-to-hand combat against snowmen on the beach. This movie started out though, and I just want to say that when I started it, I started on a good note. Okay. Because you guys probably have heard the Scrooged episode. And Red One really sums up everything I hate about Christmas off the rip.
Yes.
It totally sums up my thoughts on how I feel and the lens that I view Christmas through. That The Rock is just sitting there. Everyone around him in this mall is being a giant materialistic shitbag. He's like, are we not going to acknowledge that all of these fucking entitled people are like cutting the line and punching each other and bitching and moaning, and like this is supposed to be such a happy time? And like, so that I was like, oh, good, you guys are nailing it. And then what was the gift that keeps on giving, Joey?
I don't know.
They were in Philadelphia, those fucking shitbags.
Oh.
That's where they were. The movie starts in Philadelphia, and I was like, of course it was Philadelphia. It will be these people every time.
I mean, there are worse cities, but I understand. Especially this past week.
What past week?
Well, the Eagles just won.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, true.
Sore subject.
But I mean, I hate Philly. And
no, I get it.
It's good.
I also, I think that there's something, I'm just like, why is, like, again, knowing the movie was about Santa being kidnapped.
Did we really know that? Because that's the other problem I have with this movie is that like they tell you the plot much after the fact.
Well, I knew that this is the premise of the movie before. Like,
sure.
Going in, I knew.
And they'll kidnap him, but you never know at any point in the movie where you're like, why are they doing this right now? There's no reasoning until after they finish doing it.
That's just like, Chris Morgan writing.
I guess, but it's not like the Fast and Furious where you can just intuitive it.
I thought with the way that they were setting it up that Chris Evans was going to be the antagonist, not the anti-hero. Like, there's two ways you can go with this, and just for some reason I was feeling like he was going to be the guy who is the bad guy. Like, either intentionally or unintentionally or whatever. I guess intentionally, because he is unintentionally the bad guy. He gets hired to whatever, but the movie chooses to be like, no, he's a scoundrel who has to, like, recapture the Christmas spirit and, like, realize he still loves his kid, and, like, that's what saves him.
But that's, like, the best version of that arc, I think, for writing. I think that's, like, it's like the low man on the totem. Like, if he was the villain, then he's not going to be redeemed. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to make the Rock the anti-hero that, like, is the guy that, like, lost the Christmas vision and then comes back? Like, no, the Rock needs to be the hero the whole time. So then you need him to be the anti-hero that comes around, and then you just make another villain.
I mean, we've seen both of them like a million times. Like, neither's going to be surprising, but, like, I kind of liked on a story level that the Rock is disillusioned. Again, like what you were saying, that, like, he's like, the kids are fine. It's the fact that the adults are all assholes. It's the fact that for the first time ever, there's more people on the naughty list than the nice list. I also think it's a very weird thing for us to want to root against Kiernan Shipka. She's just like, I mean, I guess it's also the Thanos thing, kind of, where it's like, well, Thanos made some points. But Kiernan Shipka's thing is just like, oh no, I'm going to make every naughty person go away.
Disappear.
Basically. Yeah. And it's just like...
Which you're right. This is very Thanos. Like I said, like they're just stealing parts of other movies, except she's putting them in snow globes that are magical.
That's kind of like, if every bad person went away...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they had a tiered scale. They had a tier. There was a T4 naughty lister. Mm-hmm. So like, there's tiers to this. So like, just give like everybody. Like we start at 4, round them all up, see how it goes.
And then maybe
next
threes,
year,
and maybe twos.
maybe
Yeah,
threes,
exactly.
maybe twos. We just go down the list, work our way backwards. I think that's a good plan.
And they're like, no,
actually, yeah, I'm with you.
And it's just like, well, she's making some points.
I 100% agree with you. Part of the reason why I like this movie.
I also do really like her, but I don't think she's a great, this is going to sound weird, not the first part, villain, but adult? Like, I don't know if do you know who this actress is who plays the villain?
No.
So her first real main role was she played John Hamm's daughter on Mad Men. She was like 7.
Oh, yeah. No, I
She
do
played
remember.
Sally
Okay.
Draper.
Yes.
But she also just been like a teen in a bunch of stuff, or like a young adult. And here as like the main bad guy, it's like, well, I really like you as an actress. I don't know if this is like your forte here.
I think that's a you perception thing. I had no problems with it. You know what I mean? Maybe just like you were too lost in the sauce there
I guess so.
to see her as an adult, kind of. I didn't find a problem with this.
I liked seeing her. Maybe I was just like excited to see her like as another person on screen that I like, and then just being like, oh, I don't know that you necessarily did her right, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Santa gets kidnapped 25 minutes into the movie, and then we don't really find out why. And like we don't find out until the end. I guess it's supposed to be like the big twist that like Mrs. Claus has also been kidnapped unknowingly, and she's been replaced by a shapeshifter.
That felt like a secondary side twist.
But she hasn't really been like feeding them information, right? Like it's just like, oh, I made him macaroons. He's like, he hates macaroons. The North Pole's been taken. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The payoff at the end, because they're like, oh shit, is Mrs. Claus a shapeshifter? And you're like, what has she been up to? And it was like, she was just baking cookies. Mm-hmm. So like they just had this guy shapeshifting into Mrs. Claus baking cookies. Yeah, like whole big plan.
That's really funny to be like, all right, so like we have like a race of shapeshifters or whatever. It's like, I gotta be this and be on guard. I gotta be this and be on guard. I gotta be this and just bake some cookies. Like getting the
I would
Mrs.
say cookie
Claus
duty.
Cookie duty?
I would say cookie duty. Oh yeah,
Easy
top
lift.
tier job. Yeah. If I'm in the crew, I'm on cookie duty.
Although some of them are probably going to be like, I really need to be in like, I need to be in the field. I can't do this. Like, I don't want to be here. And that guy's just like, no, man, like.
Cookie duty's fine by me. I'm fine with cookie duty. Yeah.
But you got to know, Santa doesn't like macaroons.
One of my favorite things, like, I'm watching it and we're early, and he gets the coordinates to the North Pole to sell to the evil people. Well, to sell to Nick Kroll, then to sell to the evil witch. Mm-hmm. He, like in that first the
very opening
montage,
of the movie, Chris Evans,
yeah, he like calls his bookie, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then it goes and like when he sells the things, they're like he turns around to see what he was gambling on. I was like, this motherfucker's gambling on boxing. That's like rule number 1. That shit is so rigged. Like, don't gamble on boxing. I was like, look, like from there, I was like, I can tell this guy's an idiot. He appears to be a super genius, but he's a big moron, and I was right, and I felt good about myself.
Yeah. I think the issue with this movie is that, like, nothing is exciting. It's not bad, but it's not surprising. It's like, I'm going to say something I'm going to say something very mean. If you're dumb, you might be like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. But, like, if you've seen movies before.
Yes, you're right. That's what I said. Well, maybe we are too lost in the sauce that, like, I said this feels like a bunch of pieces of different movies stuck together and had a Christmas veneer on it. Because, yes, I've seen every individualistic piece of this film somewhere else just mashed together.
Like, I've said this before, and I think that, like, it's not new or news or exciting or like, a surprise. But, like, movies like this just rely on, like, people loving Chris Evans' charm. And, like,
and The Rock.
He's charming. He's not that charming. You know what I mean? Like, he's not, like, actually. So, like, I still remember when I saw Knives Out.
If we replace him with Ryan Reynolds, would you like this more or less?
Less.
Much less, right?
But like,
it's the same. It's the same
thing. Although the movie would be more about his character. Like, I like that he is willing to sort of take a backseat to The Rock. Like, Ryan Reynolds could not, in a movie like this, like, in Hobbs and Shaw, he's a side character. That's fine. He's on set for 2 days, 1 day maybe. But here, as like I don't think Ryan Reynolds would be second lead. Like, he needs to be Deadpool. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to be like front or like co-headlining.
Yeah, but Chris Evans is kind of co-headlining, but he does take a mild backseat. Yeah,
it's like this is The Rock's movie. It's like he's got the emotional beat a little bit, but like when I saw Knives Out, like people were laughing at everything he said, and I'm just like, this isn't fun. These aren't jokes. Like, you just like him because you like Captain America. Like you're blinded.
He's handsome.
Yeah,
he's a handsome guy.
I don't know.
I know the plight of that, Joey, being a handsome guy in America.
Yeah, people just laugh at you.
Just laugh at me all the
laugh
time.
with you. So I was Googling, because like there's also trivia about Krampus. They're like, Krampus is real. It's like, yeah, we know Krampus is real. There was a movie of Krampus like 10 years ago, right? Like, people, like, Krampus is around.
Krampus has been, there's Krampus stories sprinkled throughout everything, yeah.
But like, I also Googled Gryla, who also Chris Evans as a big dummy. He's just like keeps saying her name. It's like the one thing you don't say her name.
You just walkie-talkie straight to her ear.
Mm-hmm.
So just don't say her name.
And like, she's also real, but like, as far as I could tell, like at a quick search, like not super affiliated with Santa, but it's just like, so they're taking real things,
yes,
and just sort of mashing them together. Like, I'm sure there's a good, interesting, cool movie, funny movie, original movie here. I don't know what it is. Like, there's the big long snowman fight, which is very boring, and at the end they just pull out the nose and he dies. It's like, well, that's clever. But like, why do we watch? But
very
10 minutes of him
anticlimactic.
fighting us? If you know how to kill him, why are you fighting him like throwing surfboards at him? Just take his nose out.
When Rachel came back, I was in the middle of the Krampus slap boxing scene,
Which I still don't understand, but yes, go on.
I was like, Rachel, I've just sat through 20 minutes of Krampus slap boxing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, why? And I was like, I have zero clue.
Yeah, Krampus has like a fight club
that he does on Krampus-nacht.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you have to slap box him. And he wins.
Mm-hmm. Because the Rock wins because he cheats.
Well, no, I mean, Krampus usually wins.
Krampus usually wins,
That's what I'm saying. But I was like, why did we need 20 minutes of that? I don't even know what we accomplished at the end of that scene still.
He helps? I think the whole point of that scene is that, like, Krampus is a complicated dude, but he's not a bad guy. It's like, well, we don't really care about him.
Yeah, Santa's still fucking missing. We got this asshole and the Rock, Christmas Hobbs over here. Like, we need everybody, like, on board. Why'd you add a new character that's, like, layered and textured, like, way at the end with a slapboxing fight? Like, that was my biggest gripe of the movie, is why was this scene so... Because this is, again, we talk about this all the time. This was a 2 hour and 6 minute film.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Don't know.
If this was, like, an hour 37, I'd be like, okay, that was pretty decent, right? Because, like, I think we could cut a lot of bullshit out of this. Like, I could trim a lot of fat in this movie.
It really makes me wonder why... Fast and Furious included, why people think these movies being longer is better, because like the conventional thinking is like, if you make a 90-minute movie as opposed to a 2-hour movie, you get like an extra showtime at the movie theater each day, you make more money.
Oh, that's a good point. I never thought about that.
That was always like, before streaming, that was always the thing. It's just like, if you make a shorter movie, instead of doing 4 showtimes, you do 5 showtimes or whatever. Like, you like literally open your thing up to more people. And on Netflix, it doesn't matter. Like, whether a movie is 90 minutes or 2 hours, it's just there, and you can pause, you can walk away, you can come back, whatever. But all these movies seem long,
bloated.
Maybe
bloated
just because it's harder to make a good short movie. It's harder to edit. It's harder to like condense things and remove things. It's just like.
But don't you think with like the CGI bill and like the budget here, don't you think you'd be like, okay, like if we cut 25% of that out,
mm-hmm.
if this was not a $250,000 movie but a $150 million movie. Wouldn't it be a little bit better for you? We maybe could have came to set on time and finished this movie out.
I don't know. It's so strange because like Fast and Furious, I kind of understand because it's like, or I think maybe the issue
at the
here,
point we are now, you need the longevity, right? So
well, I think
we have the
issue is that
longevity.
Like everything it wants its own universe, and so like Fast and Furious, I can kind of understand because there's like 40 characters because there's been like 12 movies, right, or 11
exactly.
movies.
That's what I'm saying.
But here, it's like we don't need to know Krampus.
Not at all.
We can just skip that.
We could totally remove him from the whole fucking thing.
I kind of like, I mean, I wish that there was maybe more, but like I like that J.K. Simmons and Lucy Liu were just like used sparingly, that Bonnie Hunt's used sparingly as Mrs. Claus.
I agree.
Like, we don't need like 15 minutes of Bonnie Hunt as Mrs. Claus being kidnapped or whatever. Just like, no, like that's a twist. But like going to Krampus or like doing all this different stuff or whatever, is there going to be a Red 2?
You know what I get really mad about is that like, why does like every single Christmas Santa Claus movie have a shitbag end up getting to ride in Santa's sleigh on Christmas night? Like, that's the sickest shit ever. I hate Christmas. I would love to do that. Where's my shitbag Christmas pass for Santa's sleigh ride that I get to see magic happen in real life? Like, that's not fair. It's never like the kid that was like good. It's always like some shitbag.
Well, I think that's always the thing, because it's like you watch the person, you watch the hero's journey, or you watch the like turn from evil to good or whatever, And then the reward, now that you're a good kid, is that you get to ride in Santa's sleigh. But it should be like, oh no, like valedictorian should get it. Like the kid who's like always good.
Yeah, the best kid of the year should be like, okay, we're just picking you up, bud. It's Christmas Eve. Here's your ticket. 1 pass on Santa's sleigh for this year. And you're like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like my mom with cancer that buys presents and stuff. This is amazing. My heart is so big. Yeah, no, it's always some shitbag kid.
Although, like, the shitbag kid in this isn't really a shitbag. He's, like, just son of shitbag. Like, he's not a good kid, but, like, he's in trouble at school because
he's mad at his dad, yeah.
Well, and also, he's mad at his dad, but also his friend is, like, hitting on the girl that he likes, right? He's like, I wanted to hang out with her, but he wanted to hang out with her, and I had to, like... And then Chris Evans talking about, like, loose ends and, like, basically killing his friend for, like, not, you know, whatever, but Chris Evans should be not the one to, like, ride in the sleigh, but... What do you think of the sleigh, by the way? Like that gold aerodynamic thing?
It was okay. I didn't really have problems with the sleigh or anything like that. Like I've seen Santa's sleigh 50 different iterations of it at this point, so it's like, okay, whatever. That's cool. I'm with you. I like the reindeer. I was watching them. They're pretty cool.
Reindeer's very cool.
I did like the Rock and J.K. Simmons and even Mrs. Claus, and then at the end, them being like, he's going to burn 70 billion calories tonight. You know what I mean? Because he has to, like, parkour his way through the thing. So, like, the cookies are, like, literally fuel. And when he grabbed the carrots and, like, threw them up the chimney, that was kind of cool. The elf doing, like, damage control when he, like, broke a light and stuff. Like, they have, like, a whole, like, team of, like, these things. I thought that was very interesting.
Like, that's
the
the thing,
logistics
like,
of
the last,
that.
like, 10 minutes. And I think there's 2 things here. I think number 1, it's just more creative. And number 2, it's actually, well, I guess 3 things. Number 2, there's no dialogue. It's like, we don't have to hear this stupid rely on charm and whatever and smarm and whatever. But number 3, it's not just, like, slow. Like, we're watching things actually happen as opposed to, like, we're just driving in a car for 10 minutes. It's just like, why? What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to do, like, a montage when, like, especially, like, you have no more story to tell, but it's like, the whole movie could have been like this. Like, that would have been good.
Okay, on the reverse of that, thing that I both liked and hated in this movie, speaking of that, like, you were saying, Santa uses the, like, enlarger kind of thing to, like, he, like, takes, like, little presents and just kind of, like, rolls them like dice and then hits them with the thing and they become, like, full-size presents. That's really cool. And The Rock using it on the toys is really cool. Them using it to just be Ant-Man, not very cool.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the lamest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Yep.
Like, using it on the... Like, you could get so creative, like, when he, like, blows up the Rock'em Sock'em robots and, like, makes the Hot Wheels car a real car. Like, all that shit
Did
is
he do a
very
third thing, or
interesting.
was it just those 2?
There was another car. He does it with a different car.
Because, like, there's a thing that, like, it just turns toys into real and also maybe turns doorways into portals. And so they go around, but, like, he collects all these different things. It's like, and this is, like, the thing that drives me a little bit crazy about these kind of movies, where it's like, in a James Bond movie, when Q shows Bond 4 wild new things, Bond uses all those things.
He's going to use them. He's going to use those fucking things.
In this one, The Rock gets, like, Monopoly, and he gets this and that. I'm just like, oh, he's going to make real money or something? It's like, no, he just has Monopoly, because, like, Parker Brothers or Milton Bradley or whoever, like, probably paid money to be in the movie. You know, it's just like...
Yeah, Amazon was like, this is going to be on sale on Prime Day.
Like, don't just... Like, Chris Evans grabs the Ferrari or whatever, right, that, like, they use.
Yes.
But then The Rock just grabs a bunch of toys. I guess, like, the Rock'em Sock'em gets used to, like, help escape from Krampus.
But that's it. Yeah.
But don't grab 5 toys and, like, show us those toys in 2 or 3 different shots and then not use those toys.
I absolutely agree with you, bud. Yeah.
Very cool idea. Very cool technology. Very cool, you know, Christmassy magic. Poorly executed.
Poorly executed. Absolutely.
Also, just becoming Little Rock, like, I think Jason Rainey liked that. I think that was one of the things he liked about it. Like, it's surprising, but it's just like, but that's Ant-Man. Like, we just saw that.
That's what I said.
I know you said. I'm just echoing. Just like,
I like The Rock being small, but we just did Ant-Man. He still exists. Paul Rudd is alive. Mm-hmm. Like, we still have him. So, like, let's not do Ant-Man again. But yes, the Little Rock, interesting. The how we get there, lame.
Is there a third thing, a third toy you would have liked to have seen used? Because, like, the movie thing is rules of 3, right? It's like car, robot, don't do other car. What's a third toy you would like?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't have an answer either,
Joey.
so I got to think about it. I put you on the spot, but I don't have an answer.
Third toy I would like to see, is it just to make it bigger so that
it turns real? and bigger and like if you like to a slinky, it would be like a big slinky that you could like that wouldn't be helpful, but like
very very impractical. I know, and he already uses Wonder Woman, so anything that you could have sex with is out, I guess.
That's also like not like really a joke. He's just like, what toy would you want to turn real? It's like, Wonder Woman.
Because it's so moronic, and he was gambling on boxing. I really like that one. I was like, this guy's a fucking idiot.
I mean, it'd be cool to do like a G.I. Joe or like a Star Wars figure. It's like, oh, I have a real lightsaber now.
That's a good one. That would be good. Yeah, it would have to be something that like then conveys extra magic. Everything that I'm thinking of is like it's just gonna like fight you and destroy your house, right? And I'm like, oh, or like tech decks, and I'm like, well, that's just a skateboard, so just buy a skateboard. Like, you know, like I'm like, where can I get it? Maybe like that's what I would do, like a Lego apartment building.
Oh, so it just becomes a real apartment building.
Yeah, and then I just rent it out and I make money. Like the Lego Empire State Building.
So
and
you want to use
move
Christmas
it to somewhere
to become a slumlord?
Yes.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. I need the shitbag ticket for the sleigh, Joey. Like this is my
what tier. Okay, look, you're on the naughty list, but what tier? Do you think you're tier 1, 2, 3, or 4? You're not a 4.
Definitely not a 4.
I also
think
don't
2.
think you're a 3. Yeah, 2.
I think a 2. I think 2 feels about right. Mm-hmm. Like greater than average shitbag, but not like malicious. You know,
like you're getting snapped, but it's like a couple Christmases from now.
I think I would make through round 1 and 2 cuts. I think I could survive both of them.
Are you making opening day roster? Making the 53 man?
I'm not making the 53. I might sneak into the practice squad if somebody gets injured, but I'm not making the.
Okay, you're on the taxi squad. Okay.
Yeah, taxi squad. Yeah.
What do you think? Like The Rock, when he's just like, I'm so disenchanted, I'm going to retire. Like, what is a former bodyguard, immortal being for Santa do in retirement? Does he say like what he wants to do?
No, he doesn't, which would also be interesting to me. And where does he go? Does he get exiled somewhere? Does he get to stay at the North Pole? If he's going to be at the North Pole, you're telling me he's not working? So he just gets to sit there and, like, drink iced tea and smoke candy canes and just, like, stare at the fucking factory? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
I think that I would guess that his retirement would be a step down from the Enforcement Logistics and Fortification Service, and he would go back he would go back to rapping. Remember, because he said he won like 183 years in a row rapping contest. But does that mean he was on like Elf that whole time?
Wait, does he say I don't remember the rapping line. Are you talking about like freestyle rapping or like gift rapping?
No, he said I won like the most fun rapping of the year award 186 years.
So he becomes like he goes into toy manufacturing or something like that, and like gift.
I think so. He's stepping down and going back to like a normal labor job.
Okay,
that's what I would guess, but I'm not sure. They don't ever actually address it. There was something that happened twice in this movie, and I thought that there was going to be another payoff, and it didn't. So maybe this movie just likes twos,
which is not how movies work. But go on.
Yes, yeah, the rule of twos. When they're like at the first mall, they're like all the people are shitbags, and he's like, and somebody comes out and who's like, "What? They're out of essential oils." And then I think when they go get the toys at like the second place, some lady walks by and goes, "What? They're out of essential oils," but like in German or something. And I was like, is there gonna be like an essential oils like joke at the end here? And there was not.
I think that kind of works because it's like, look, it's the same shitty lady, just in a different language. But like, yeah, you would think there would be a third, or don't repeat the same joke, or just like do the same kind of joke. I don't know.
Give me a Santa throws some essential oils into like a diffuser at the end there. You know what I mean? Like that could have been such a quick payout. If I noticed it twice, why did you not give me a third time?
Right.
For a payoff?
Because the movie's not good.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not good.
Yeah. No.
Other notes, other thoughts, anything else you want to say about Red 1?
Yeah, speed running, all of the Fast and the Furious Chris Morgan added into this movie that I noticed.
Okay, go for it.
We have to see some butts and bikinis.
Okay.
I love how much of a one last job this is for The Rock. He's essentially doing one last ride. The only other thing that I left... Oh, all the parkour. The Rock does a lot of parkour jumping through the roofs.
Sure.
And lastly, we get a beautiful shot of Christ the Redeemer when we come in at the end there. And I was like, okay, we're just hitting all the Fast and the Furious high points here. Let's go.
Well, parkour specifically, and also... Well, parkour's also for Chrysler Dreamer. I was thinking like that's specifically Fast Five, where just like I'm taking my one
Shot.
one. Yeah.
It's my last ride.
Let's watch the trailer. I can't imagine this is good. This is posted by Amazon MGM Studios 5 months ago. Has 21 million views.
Oh my god, yeah, because then they totally fucked themselves up with the timing of this, because like they didn't finish it. You miss a year, and then you are done for like an extra year. You know what I mean? This is really fucked.
The top comment says, this feels like a trailer for a movie you'd see in a movie. Just like, not a real movie.
That's a good comment. Yes, I agree. I'm ready whenever you are, brother.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. 2-minute, 48-second trailer, by the way.
498. 499.
Adding that Santa works out in this, that's kind of cool. It plays to the rock. I like that. That's a nice touch.
Red one is on the move.
Evening, ladies. What are you so excited about?
I like that this is scored to Jay-Z. It's like, this is not your normal Santa and Christmas movie.
Yeah.
This is bad Santa, but not bad Santa. And also, Santa's not bad.
Breach.
We're gonna find him.
I'm bringing in Jack O'Malley. He's probably the
Uh-oh.
best tracker in the world.
Oh, trackers, also trackers. You know,
Trackers.
we're bringing the only two men who've ever found Dominic Toretto.
What am I doing here?
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted from the North Pole complex.
Oh my goodness.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
Garcia?
See, like that's just like the tagline of the movie, right? Also, the polar bear called Garcia. Shout out to the Garcias, Danny and whoever.
But
else.
I just think having a giant polar bear whose last name is Garcia is pretty funny too. I like that a lot.
Is that funny to you?
You're gonna help us find
I think what's also strange about this movie is that there's like a lot of like there's no shortage of like things like that where they're just like, oh, this is a polar bear, this is whatever, right?
For what?
But then they don't like so much of the movie's just like, oh no,
That's a vet,
it's just
by the
it's just
way.
people.
It's not
Yeah.
how it works. Come on.
Post Corvette, yeah.
There's much in here that is not of the natural world.
It was also cool. Like, I think they're also trying to set up like the extended, like that's like the Headless Horseman. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
so
is
you're
there
saying that you could do The Rock against Halloween?
Yeah, I keep thinking of Christmas people, but like
We need to prepare for the possibility.
the Easter Bunny's been taken.
yeah. Isn't that the Tooth Fairy? Like he did the Tooth. Is he just like?
I don't know what the Tooth Fairy's about. We have not covered the Tooth Fairy.
We have not covered it.
Theoretically, at one point, we will cover the Tooth Fairy, but
We got snowmen!
And I saw these and I was like, did somebody just watch like Game of Thrones again and was like, what if the Nightwalkers were actually just snowmen?
and what if they were in the sand? Like, you know how to kill them.
So disturbing.
Don't fight them.
I know, and if you weren't like, if you were his boy, like, wouldn't you be like, rip the nose, you know what I mean? Like, sweep the leg.
Interesting.
My turn! Oh my god.
This is also a little bit like the scene in Hobbs and Shaw where Hattie's like dancing around and they're like taunting for more punishment and pain so they can be successful. Although like that not really, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh no, we saw him like willingly accept punishment
Yeah.
in the name of greater good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
I would not have seen that movie with the trailer. Like, I wouldn't have cared.
No. This weekend, Bob and I are seeing Margaret will go, but she's got Christmas stuff to do. Shout out Christmas. We're seeing 2 movies in New York. We're seeing The Brutalist and Nickel Boys, which are like going to be like great movies, like 2 of the best movies of the year. And then like you look at my local theater, and here's what's playing in my local theater.
Okay.
So like these are 2 like should be theoretically will be nominated for Best Picture. My local theater: Mufasa the Lion King, Sonic 3, Kraven the Hunter, Moana 2, Gladiator 2, Homestead, a movie I don't know, Wicked, the animated Lord of the Rings that was only made so that they could retain the rights, Red One still in theaters, and then a reshowing of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's like, theaters look really bad right now. We might as well go see Red One. It's like, well, no, there's actually like good movies. They're just like in New York. It's just like, but like this is like shit. Like there's a lot of bad stuff out there right now.
There is. I feel like we've been in a bit of a drought. I think we're catching that second wind of like what happened after COVID? There was like one thing. Oh, like the strike or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like we're catching that wind right now.
Well, Walt's written a couple times recently, including one time this week, about how the box office this year is going to wind up slightly above last year, but still like only 80% of what it was before COVID. But like next year is going to be up 9%, and the year after that's going to be up another 9%. So like it's building back. We're still not there yet.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, okay. Letterboxd game, Mad Max Fury Road, 2.3 million. Red 1, directed by Jake Kasdan, starring Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons, and Lucy Liu, has been seen by how many people? Remember, it's free to watch on Amazon Prime. It's also in theaters.
It also just came out, though, but also is geared towards kids and the kids' movies. A lot of parents rate it. Start me at 325,000.
You are too high.
First real guess is 142,000.
Very close. 146,000. Average rating of 2.3, most common a 3, then a 2, then a 2.5.
I shouldn't have won up after that. I was fucking because I was like so skewed by the box office and the free Amazon shit. Okay, I was close.
How
on the
many
second one.
of these 146,000 people have this in their top 4 favorite films of all time?
Oh fuck, we're so close to Christmas, and it's The Rock and Chris Evans, and it's new. Oh god damn it! How many is it? Give me.
Would you believe if I told you all 146,000 people have this in their top 4? Just kidding. You said 100, too high.
Okay. 42.
Too low. One more guess.
68.
58. So we're going to go, I pulled 2 because I don't know that either of them, just in case either of them removed it. Chicken Joliet at Chicken Joliet. 1
Good
star.
name. That's fun. Okay. Okay. I like this.
Pretty good. Love Chris Evans and the Rock
Evan.
combo. But the evil witch's acting was so bad I wanted to pluck my eyes out. Also, the son is so freaking annoying. Like the way his mouth moves when he talks in his voice. Shut your mouth, boy. Also, he flares his nostrils so much I actually couldn't even pay attention to what they were saying when he was on screen because he was just making me so mad. So definitely remove a star because of those 2 horrible actors. Everything else was pretty sick, though. Like the CGI and everything looked great. 1 star.
Chicken Juliet. That's a review that strikes deeply into my heart. I like that. You went full Seinfeld level of annoyances about really, really small things about the people and hated them for it. I really like that.
So Chicken Joliet's number 1 favorite movie of all time is Red 1.
Okay.
Numbers 2, 3, and 4 are all movies that the internet has dunked on for the last 3 years. They're all new movies that the internet has dunked on. So think about all the vitriol that the internet has spewed at things.
The new Space Jam movie.
You're in line. That would be another one, but no, it's not in here.
Okay.
I feel like people sort of largely forgot about that.
Okay.
These have also been memed. At least 2 of them have been memed, and another one...
I was guessing so.
severely memed.
Okay.
Two are connected.
2 are connected. Are any of them Marvel films?
2 are kind of Marvel films.
Okay. Okay. Let me think.
And there's a third one connected to these 2 out now.
Is one of them Wicked?
No.
No, people kind of love Wicked. What is meme to shit though? Out now, meme to shit.
Well, the one that's out now, just nobody's talking about. But the other 2 it's connected to.
Moana 2
connects us all. What?
Moana 2?
No. These are movies that the internet does not like. I think people like Moana 2.
It's making a ton of money, I saw. And I'm like, I haven't heard one fucking person talk about this, and it's made a boatload of money.
You don't talk to people with kids.
That's very true. By choice. What is it Sonic? Is one of them Sonic?
No.
Because of the, redoing the Sonic face? Give me something. You have to give me something besides just memers.
Her web connects us all.
Her web connects us all.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Madam Web?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
She was studying spiders, or he was studying spiders with my mom in the Amazon just before he died. Madam Web is a kind of Marvel movie. It's a Marvel movie, but not really like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But another movie it's connected to that also was meme to shit
is What? Give me a hint.
Well, the one that's out now is Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, Kraven the Hunter, cool.
But the other one that they're both connected to, also in the Spider-Verse.
Is it the Spider-Man with all 3 Spider-Mans? What is it?
It's a movie that nobody likes. You're thinking of 2 good movies.
What movie does nobody like that's in the Spider-Verse? Venom. No,
people
Morbius.
like that.
Morbin time.
Morbius.
Morbin time. That's right.
Morbius and
Okay,
Madam
sorry.
Web. And then another movie that came out this year that we have talked about, that a show on our podcast network famously has not yet talked about.
Megalopolis.
Red One, Megalopolis, Madam Web, and Morbius.
I like Chicken Juliet. That's a good account. If I had a Letterboxd account, it would probably look a lot like Chicken Juliet's.
So we're going to go to Big Goon Mookie, too, because Big Goon Mookie actually loved this movie.
Okay.
3 words. Instant Christmas classic. Just
Hit.
wow.
Classic.
My boy Ryan is an L4 naughty lister for giving this movie 1 star and deserves to be Krampus slapped. Perfect movie to get you in the holiday spirit, and definitely going to need to ask JK what kind of protein Santa uses. Arm emoji, arm emoji. Haven't seen this sort of on-screen chemistry since The Rock and Kevin Hart. Only concern about this movie is that Krampus Knocked might be tighter than Christmas. Bravo, Chris Evans. Bravo, Dwayne. Cinema is still going strong. 4.5 stars.
This has to be a Russian bot that $7 Productions paid to write this review.
Well, they have 9 followers. They're following 8 people, and their top 4 are all Dwayne The Rock Johnson movies.
My theory is correct. Thank you. Perfect.
So which 4 movies does Big Goon Mookie love? I will tell you, none of them are good.
It has to be like, is it all recent ones to play into my thing? There can't be any like deep cuts.
They've all come out in the last 10 years, but some of them are 10 years old.
Jumanji.
No, I would say
That's a good
or
one.
bad.
That's good.
Yeah.
Comparatively. Rampage.
Rampage is number 3.
There you
that's
go.
the best of these 4.
That's the best of these 4.
I actually haven't seen the first one, but there's no way that is good.
What else? They're the Rock movies. So what else is? And there's no like Fast and Furious. There's no Hobbs and Shaw.
There's one that literally ended something.
Oh, Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Nice.
And the DCEU.
Okay, this is a Russian bot. This cannot be anything else but a Russian
And
bot.
then what's his number 1? I don't know that you're ever going to get it. Hercules, starring The Rock.
Okay.
Hercules, Black Adam, Rampage, Red One.
To be honest, even worse, this might be The Rock's personal letterbox.
Big Goon Mookie.
Big Goon Mookie. That would make so much sense, wouldn't it?
This is his profile picture. It's him holding a dog in his home, and there's somebody bending over to get wash.
Don't. You're going to get stuck in there. I've seen that movie before.
Deep cut.
What? Did you laugh?
Cringed. Same thing. Same effect.
If anybody got that joke, you're they're on the tier 2 naughty list.
Anyway.
Just so you know.
Merry Christmas. That was Red One. Next year, unless there's a new Christmas movie that comes out that
did
one of our
Ludicrous one,
families
right?
in, we got Dashing Through the Snow, the ludicrous Christmas movie.
Yeah. By the way, I haven't said this yet, and I haven't posted in the group, but I was just thinking about it. There is some property company that's selling a house down the street from my house, and it just is Tej Property.
TEJ?
Yeah. The sign outside just says Tej something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our next main feed episode, Life in Fast and number 38, Tokyo Drift Minute 4. Movie's actually beginning. We're going to dialogue.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool.
So email in. We'll read those emails on the next episode. We also have a bonus episode for the patrons between now and then. The Hunt for Red October, the second in the Jack Ryan series, sponsored by Alex Ellenin, coming out on Monday for all of you. The Hunt for Red October. Any final thoughts? Anything else to say in this episode before we say goodbye?
If you enjoy Christmas, I hope you have a very good one. Try to remember the non-shitbag parts of it for me, please.
For all things Too Fast, Too Forever, go to cageclub.me, facebook.com/TooFastTooForever, or at TooFastTooForever on all the socials. Email us, family@cageclub.me. Check out our Patreon page at TooFastTooForever.com and our store at cageclub.me/shop. Come back next week for a ridiculous tally of how many George Pickens shirts we've sold over the last 2 weeks. It is big.
Are you serious?
He
He hasn't played in the past 2 weeks. He's
I don't know,
on
man.
hamstring. Are you serious? That makes me so happy.
I will let you know all these $2 we're making. $2 here, $2 there. Come back next week for Life of the Fast Lane number 38. Get those emails in, family@cageclub.me. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe, too.
And we will tell you all about it
when we see you again.